Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Senator Andrew Omtatah Okiyah.
Mr. Speaker, sir, thank you for the opportunity to contribute to this very, very important amendment. This bill, the County Public Finance Laws Amendment Bill of 2023. This bill, Mr. Speaker, sir, as summarized in the Memorandum of Objects and Reasons, is a bill that needs to have been there. It's a bill that need not have been there, because this shows that when the National Assembly was enacting the Public Finance Management Act and other laws that govern county governments, it paid scant attention to the issues of how the county governments have to be operating. The county government right now is micromanaged. The county assembly is micromanaged by the governor, and as such, it becomes very difficult for the assembly to have a voice of its own. Because at the end of the day, it needs to go back to the governor for this or that. Much as the law says that a certain percentage should go this way, and a certain percentage should go that way. But if the money comes, leaves Nairobi when it has been put in the various funds, then the assemblies will have their autonomy. The Public Finance Management Act is one act that needs serious attention by this House. A lot of issues in that act are against devolution. And this particular House needs to pay attention to that act, and to also make sure that all amendments that were made to that act after 2013, because the act was made when the National Assembly was the only chamber of parliament. After that, the Senate came into being, and then mischief began playing its part. And many amendments were made without coming to this House, including amendments such as the one that allow proceeds of foreign loans to be kept in foreign accounts, contrary to Article 206 of the Constitution, were made. You have got something that's happening now whereby a lot of money is being stolen through procurement. They call it specially permitted procurement procedure. The specially permitted procurement procedure that is being used to initiate a lot of procurements that are not proper was initiated through a Finance Act of 2017, which never came to this House, and is wreaking havoc. A lot of things like Adanis and all these things that have come around, if you look at it, it's as a result of the mischief that was done by the National Assembly alone after 2013 to the Public Finance Management Act. They introduced a lot of changes. So this particular intervention that you are looking at the Public Finance Management Act to try and ferret out the issues that keep counties dysfunctional is very, very important. And I congratulate the Deputy Speaker for having the presence of mind to come up with this bill so that we can begin the journey to ensuring that we have got counties that from design are meant to work. You know, when you look at this particular section of the Act, it's like, Mr. Speaker, sir, I come to your home, I'm from a village, right deep in the village somewhere, I want to answer the call of nature, it's raining, and you tell me, I say, how can I get an umbrella? You say, no, here we don't have to go out there. You can answer the call of nature within the house. We have got a self-contained house. Then I go and I'm able to utilize it. Then when I finish, I say, Mr. Speaker, sir, when I go to my village, I'm also going to set up a similar house. And I'll put a toilet in that house. But to make sure that all villagers know that I have a toilet in my house, I'm going to put the toilet in the living room. I mess up with the design. That toilet cannot be used. It becomes dysfunctional. And that's what we have here. We have a design problem in the counties. The design is faulty, and then you end up with things that cannot work. So we must come back, and this to me is an opening shot where we need to visit all the legislation that govern counties and see to it that we get the design right so that we can, in the proper way, be able to set up something that can function before we test it. What we have in the counties now, right now, in many cases, cannot function because the design is wrong. The design of having money leave Nairobi into the kitty of the governor, then from there, the county is served, is not acceptable. We must get the design right, and for me, Mr. Speaker, sir, I really congratulate you for this, because here you fix a problem. You get the design right. And once the design is right, things will flow. When the design is wrong, however hard you try, you never succeed. That's why we say the egg, the way it is designed, it can lift a chicken with a curve, but the other side, it cannot lift the weight of a chicken. So let us get the design right. Let us work on this. And I pray that the National Assembly will see the value we have seen in this thing to make sure that we create two autonomous institutions at the county level, whereby the Assembly is independent, the executive is independent, then the question of oversight can become possible. Otherwise, it's like asking your children to oversight their father in his compound. They cannot. The governor remains the big man, the governor remains the boss, and he cannot be oversighted by these people. So I really pray that we will get a way of getting it through the National Assembly, and I want to support what Senator Chesang said, that we may need to identify a partner in the Assembly who can help us see this bill come through. As I conclude, I want to say that it's also important to note that primary oversight is a function of the county assembly. Primary oversight, whereby the budget of the county is held against the implementation of projects in the county, is really a function that county reps, ward reps should be able to, members of the county assembly, should be able to do, because they live in those wards, they pass those budgets, they know what goes to their counties, and they should be able to see if the money is being applied lawfully, using the budget as the marking scheme, and also whether the money is being used effectively. Right now, to wait until the point whereby you get an Auditor General's report to interrogate, sometimes it's too late. You find a lot of things are missing in that report, a lot of issues have been missed, and even if you are to intervene at that time, most of the time the horse has already bolted, and closing the gate does not achieve much. So, Mr. Speaker, sir, I really congratulate you for coming up with this bill, and I support this bill, and I pray that this bill sees the light of day. But going forward, as a House, we need to revisit the Public Finance Management Act. It even takes away the power of our own clerk. When there was an amendment by the National Assembly where they created two heads for the Parliamentary Service Commission, it has taken away the power of our own, the clerk of this House, as the deputy, as the secretary of the Parliamentary Service Commission. He's basically a figurehead. The powers of the chairman remain intact. The powers of the clerk are taken away by being split into 3 centers. So we need to revisit those kind of things and make sure that the role of the stature of this House is not undermined through legislation. The Constitution is kept, a fidelity to the Constitution is kept, and whatever we do it with the Constitution as our North Star. So, Mr. Speaker, sir, with those few remarks, I support the bill. Thank you.